So I don't know exactly how far ahead of me he is, but I'm so tired and my legs, I really almost don't feel like I can do it anymore.
There's a little pocket of California that's home to the most extreme poles of America. Mount Whitney is the tallest peak in America outside Alaska. Just a short 80 miles away is Badwater Basin, Death Valley, the lowest and hottest place. It's like nature is challenging you to connect them. A few years ago, my brother and I decided to answer this challenge. Since then, we've been researching and waiting for the right moment, until now.
So it's about 3:45 in the morning. We've already been hiking for 20 minutes. The road up to the trail is closed, so we're still just on the pavement. Neil is ready to go. We only have minor digestion issues. Everything feels good. It's pretty brisk. The packs are super heavy. This is our first serious challenge. Neil is crossing a river.
Cody's route stays on that side of the creek.
It's first light. Trying to figure out the best way up the mountain.
People die attempting Mount Whitney every winter. Falls, fatigue, and avalanches are all real risks on the mountain. So we've been monitoring the conditions all spring, waiting for the snow to settle. But the hardest part of this climb, for us, is the timing. Summiting Mount Whitney in the winter in a single day can be extremely difficult. So we decided to take the mountaineers route, which is steeper and more dangerous, but a lot faster. We're also carrying our skis up the mountain to speed up our descent and hopefully get some good corn skiing in. My brother Neil and I were born in Colorado. We've been climbing casually and backcountry skiing our whole lives, but this is the first time we're pursuing a more dangerous mountaineering objective. Here's the catch. My brother Neil lives for the mountains. He backcountry skis and bikes and runs every week. People train for months to hike Mount Whitney. I did one hike with weights in my backpack. In hindsight, it was pretty crazy to attempt a single-day winter ascent of the tallest mountain in the lower 48 and then bike 140 miles the next day. This whole weekend felt like a race against time.
Slow going. It's not ideal for skiing. There's very hard snow. It's kind of slippery. Have to kind of be on your edge the whole time.
It doesn't look very steep, but if we slipped here, there's a chance we'd slide like 800 feet down the hill, so it was a bit nerve-wracking. At best, we'd lose a bunch of time, and at worst, we'd break something.
So we just came from over there. We've been skinning across this giant field, and now we're going up there. That was all super annoying to go up.
I know something sad. We've done over 3/4 of the mileage and only 1/2 of the vert.
Feeling pretty good, doing good. The only thing we're worried about is running out of time now.
Mainly because we're taking these stupid vlog posts.
I'm almost to the couloir. Neil's off ahead of me. So I don't know exactly how far ahead of me he is, but I'm so tired and my legs, I really almost don't feel like I can do it anymore. But at least I'm gonna push for this kind of false summit behind me. See what I can see from there.
Even though they contain America's most popular national park and tallest mountain, the southern half of the Sierra Nevadas have no towns and only one road going through them. This makes mountain climbing in America unique from places like the Alps, which are covered in train tracks and gondolas and villages. This segment of the Sierras have never been permanently settled, and now is protected as an unbroken wilderness for 200 miles from north to south.
Been huffing and puffing my way up this mountain, basically dying. And Neil's just sitting here chilling with Mount Whitney in the background.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
getting pretty close. Nicholas is asking me to kill him. I think that's actually what's happening.
Just keeps getting deeper.
Sure does.
I think this is as far as I'm gonna make it. I'm so toasted.
Beautiful spot to make it to.
So summit's right here, right behind us. But pretty goddamn tired. Super close. Trying to figure out what we want to do. It's about 2,000 more feet vertical to go, even though we are like 90% of the way there, distance-wise. Unfortunately, this is as far as we're gonna make it today. We just had a couple setbacks. It was very steep. We wasted a good amount of time in the first gully, kind of fighting our way, and then we ended up post-holing a lot in the snow. But I still feel pretty good about it. I feel happy that I'm doing things that I'm like challenging myself and doing things that I'm not always succeeding, that I'm trying and failing. But it's not a complete failure. We still got a huge bike ride tomorrow. And I won't feel too shameful about going from right next to the highest point in America to the lowest point in America, even if it's not as cool as actually getting to the top. I know Neil's pretty bummed. He's going right now. He's gonna scope out this little couloir. That's the next section of the climb. He's just gonna pop up it a little bit, check it out, see if we can see Lone Pine, and then ski down. Pretty gassed. I definitely think want to do more training, more prep next time, and spend more time skinning. Just so I feel stronger on the uphill with the skis. And even though we're not making it to the top, I'm still really fired to be up here. It's insanely beautiful. Neil's still working his way up the couloir. And I'm not jealous of him, but I am jealous of how in shape he is.
I think I'm about halfway up the couloir here on Mount Whitney, and I'm gonna turn around so Nicholas isn't waiting for me any longer. But yeah, it's been a hell of a day. My legs are in toast right now, and yeah, it's pretty sick.
Although I'll always have to wonder if we could have summited, the truth is that most deaths occur on Mount Whitney during the descent. Exhaustion and altitude can make your judgment worse and your legs shaky. And at this point in the day, we were exhausted and running out of daylight. And none of this is worth dying for, even if the risk is small.
How'd it feel?
The turns at the bottom were kind of nice. They were like slushy.
Watching you ski down that first section, I was like really glad we didn't go to the top and try and ski off the top.
Yeah,
It's like, it looked like an ice rink.
it was like it was so bad.
It's a strange feeling knowing that even though the hardest part of the day was over, we were just beginning the official challenge. Even if I did move the starting line forward a little bit, that would be long forgotten by this time tomorrow when we were sweating our way through the sand in 100-degree heat.
Well, we made it back to our stash spot. The skiing down was pretty epic. Definitely made the whole difficulty of it all more worth it. Legs are tired. We've still got...
Hearts are full.
Legs are tired, hearts are full.
Take your time, but get your ass in gear.
Oh.
By the time we made it down to the last skiable section of the mountain, the snow was melting fast and collapsing under our skis. This means that a weak layer of snow could be forming under the surface. If this layer collapses under our skis in the wrong place, it could cause a massive avalanche that would sweep us off the cliffs to our left. If I could tiptoe on skis in this section, I would have.
What?
It's making me nervous. This is like a slab with those.
Yeah, it is collapsing a lot where I am. I think we should go back.
Go back right.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe how smelly it is over here.
Things have never been worse.
Yeah.
We're in this gully and it's sketchy. There's creek crossings, really mushy snow that's collapsing, snow bridges over water. Oh, you see that? I made it turn. Oh, wow.
I definitely don't want to go that way.
Oh, crap. Fuck.
Creek was noticeably louder this afternoon, and I was terrified the snow would collapse after melting in the sun all day.
It's a little bit of avalanche debris that came down from the cliff up above today. Looks like mostly ice that just got too heavy and fell off.
Hell yeah.
At this point in the day, I was too tired to bother keeping my boots dry, which is terrible form.
Land ho?
Land ho.
That was a shitload of fun, but I've also never been so ready for a ski run to be over.
You have like zombie feet.
It looks so gross. Oh my god.
Well, I thought you were, you're not.
The highway that goes up to the Whitney portal was closed during our climb, so we had an extra 3 miles of hiking this morning in the dark. Walking down in the sunlight really made it easy to see how much extra hiking we had to do. If the road is closed when you're here, I highly recommend climbing up the day before you start the hike.
We finally made it back to the car. It's 6:30. I think it's the most tired I've ever been in my life. But Stas is an angel, and she left us a little present at the car. Wow. Oh, so fucking hard.
Oh, sorry.
Insane. Oh, you guys actually caught a big one.
Yeah.
Wow, how fun.
Yeah. Did you find my little gift? Nice.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yay.
Almost done. So it's about 6 in the morning. We're just getting first light. Spent about the last hour 10, 20 minutes putting away all our ski shit, eating breakfast, getting the bikes ready. Day 2, 130 miles to go. So we just made it off the 395 past Pine, about 10 miles down, maybe 120, 130 more to go, we're not sure. We're really trying to keep the pace, but the view is just so beautiful behind us. Look at that. Woo! We're almost 15 miles in, and my legs only hurt a little bit. Not sure how far we are in. We're on the first big hill of the ride. We've got a crazy headwind. Really hoping that doesn't last all day. So I just talked to Neil, and he doesn't think we're gonna make it at the pace I'm going. So he's going on ahead of me. He's already way up there in the distance. It's funny, not really into sufferfests or big competitions. And I really thought that highest to lowest would be like a fun, easy version of lowest to highest. But it's still pretty hard. Still harder than I typically prefer for my weekends. It is so crazy to be able to be like up in a snowy mountain and then just with your own leg power. Now we're here in this like crazy dry desert. It's amazing.
Death Valley isn't like other national parks in America. It's beautiful in its own way, but its real call is for what it represents. The extremes of nature and the hardship of surviving in the American West. Doing literally anything in Death Valley is challenging. Even in March, the dry heat is terrible. I think today will be just as hard, if not harder than yesterday.
It wasn't.
Hello.
You've eaten apple pie.
You eat apple pie?
Look at my text.
No.
No, it did. Yeah, no, sorry.
Oh, what? That?
The first big hill and 60 miles of road are now behind me, and I'm not even at the hard part yet. Ahead of me is a 4,000-foot mountain pass, and it's starting to get hot. When I started to climb the second hill is when I really started to doubt myself. Even though the first climb was less than 2,000 feet, we spread out over almost 30 miles, and my legs were still gassed from Mount Whitney. By the time I started the final ascent, Neil was already near the top.
Man number 2. He's alive. Not for long. Want some pasta salad?
How's it, guys? It's abundant for bread.
Oh. How we feeling?
Pretty good, actually.
Nice. Is it downhill now?
Almost.
Wow. Woo! Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Neil is killing it. I swear to God, I can't even get far enough from him to set up the tripod and film him with a big lens, because every time I find a good spot and I stop, Neil is already almost here. He's as fast as this car.
Took a good little break in the valley. Not even a quarter of a way up the second mountain, and I am really tired. So we'll see if I can make it up. I really want to, because I feel like if I make it to the top of this hill, it's just downhill and flat the rest of the way.
Zoom, zoom. make it film like a seductive, sexy movie. It's actually all sweat. This is how hot it is in Death Valley.
Getting close to the top of the second big hill, about to enter Death Valley. You can see Mount Whitney in the Sierras, and it's pretty mind-blowing. That's where we were this morning. I'm really stoked about that. That's where we're going, up this giant last section, and then we're at the top.
Well, I hope Nick is doing okay. It's legit 100 degrees down the valley. So I'm following Neil, making sure he has water to drink or seductively spare himself. But haven't heard from Nick or Greg. They don't have service. I have kind of like spotty service. I don't even know if he made it up the hill. Did Greg give him a ride? Did Greg disappear? Is he by himself? Ah! Neil has about 35 miles left. I think a couple more hours and hopefully he'll make it.
Been getting some honks and some cheers of encouragement. It's been super nice. I feel like I can't let them down. Plus, my dad and Stas have been driving around all day helping us, giving us water. Getting super close, but I'm so tired. Right after I finished recording that, I biked past my dad. He said, if I make it to the top of this hill, I'll be the first person to ever do that with my weight. So he kind of ruined the moment, but I guess now I'm angry, and I also have to get to the top for that reason.
If you like this video, subscribe. My wife Stas and I have been making these edits for about a year now, and if we can hit 10,000 subscribers in 2026, then we'll keep going.
It's so fucking hot, I'm dying.
Let's get some more water in you.
You have like 20 more miles?
I think so.
I don't know if I can do it.
Okay, how about you get in the car, I get on the bike.
We can switch it down with that.
Get in.
Riding down this hill was epic. Nearly 6,000 feet of unbroken, smooth pavement straight down into the desolation of Death Valley. It felt amazing not having to pedal, but now my arms were getting exhausted just from squeezing the brakes for so long. It's unbelievable to me that there are runners who make this journey in reverse.
So we made it to the bottom of this giant hill, and now we're actually in the bottom of Death Valley. I'm really fired up that I made it this far. Gonna see if I can make it 30 more miles to Furnace Creek. It's super hot out.
One of the reasons it's so hot in Death Valley is because as air descends down into the valley, it gets compressed, which makes it warm. This process is called adiabatic warming. The rain shadow of Mount Whitney and the Sierra Crest keep it dry here year-round, and the lack of humidity means that the temperature swings wildly with the rising and setting of the sun. Death Valley always surprises me. The first time I came here, it was cold and rainy. This year was the driest winter in recorded history for much of the American West. But the driest part of the West, here, received enough rain to form a rare lake and fuel a super bloom of wildflowers. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we were way too exhausted to appreciate from the bike.
That's what a broken brain looks like.
Finally getting to the dead part of Death Valley. It's pretty barren. So So I'm in the bottom of Death Valley. I haven't seen any elevation signs. It looks like the road goes up a big hill again. And Neil has been waiting. He's been at the end for a little while now. He's just been sitting there waiting for me for like 2 hours. And there's the super bloom that we're excited to see, and there's the lake in Death Valley right now. So I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm really happy that I made it all the way down into Death Valley. Too bad we didn't make it to the finish line, but considering how hard yesterday was, I'm not gonna sweat an extra 100 feet of elevation that I'm missing. So I gave up down there, just like right over there, and I was kind of bummed because I really wanted to make it to sea level, but I was actually below sea level. I think we did it. We made it from the highest to the lowest point. That counts for me.
But in the meantime, Neil actually made it to the lowest point in America, which was an extra 30 miles.
There you go. How does it feel to be a champion?
So gross, actually. And also,
Wow. Well, you have to walk to the middle now to find your beer, you know that, right? Would you recommend this trip to anyone, to a friend?
not even to my worst enemy. It's horrible.
Nice.
Scenery was pretty sweet, but I think I'm gonna go die now.
If someone was to do this trip, what advice would you give them?
Think twice about actually doing it. Have a nice support vehicle, and yeah, maybe do some training beforehand. That'd be good. Hi, Seth.
Welcome to Badwater Basin.
Thank you.
How did you enjoy that ride?
I'm happy it's over. I don't think it's hit me yet.
You look weathered.
I feel salty.
This trip absolutely defeated me, and technically I didn't make it to the highest or the lowest point using only my legs. But we found the limit of what I can do, at least for now. And I think that was the point of this trip all along.